Hey y'all, I'm back. Okay, I'm back for us to get into more Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, if you're new to the channel, then hey, bitch. All right, make sure you guys are coming into the video. You're liking, commenting, subscribing, and also sharing the video. Okay. Now, Miss Shamea Morton went over to the Breakfast Club, okay? And of course, she talked about quite a bit of stuff. And I only listened to the first few minutes, but I decided, you know what, I want to go ahead and listen to it with you guys. So let us go ahead and do just that. All right. Now, first of all, I'm gonna let y'all know that it is sped up a bit, okay? So just a FYI for the people. All right. But let us go ahead and get into it.
New single out, never had.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So I'm excited about that song because RL and B Flat helped produce that. You know, RL from Next. And you know how it is in the industry. You tell people you really want to do something like, yeah, come by the studio, and no one ever follows up and really don't do anything. So me being at my big age, you know, it was still a passion of mine to sing and do music. And he gave me a shot, and people are loving it, and I'm loving that y'all are supporting it. Thank you.
Let's first talk about how she walked in here. She walked in here with sparklers and liquor for everybody, like it was the nightclub.
I felt like I was about to get a shot. She had the two bottle girls with the sparklers. She came in like, hey, y'all bought bottles.
So let me say, can I tip y'all? Like, you
I know, that was so kind.
Why do you think your career didn't take off, music career?
In the past, it's been because I've been in girl groups, or you know, like I was in the group co-ed, Roll With Me back in the day. I was in
Roll With Me.
Yeah, Roll With Me.
I don't know that song.
I show you around. Okay, so I'm like, what song is that?
But that was a girl group with Carrie Hilson.
I did a group with Carrie Hilson. It was called Pretty Tony. And then, of course, Shamari Fears was in a group called Intrigue back in the day. I've done lots of groups. And you know how it is with groups back in the day. It was like somebody else gets signed by somebody, then now the group is broken up, or somebody gets pregnant, now it's over. And I think I just got burned out at a young age. And that acting check was better. So I started focusing on that, acting, hosting, and the music love was always there. So I was like, I'm going back to it.
But you've always had a beautiful voice, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, I was like singing at churches, bar mitzvahs, funerals. And it was like, okay, I gotta do it. I just gotta do it on my own. And now it's easier because social media helps you to just put your own stuff out there. You don't have to wait on, like back in the day it was like you gotta do it for A&R, have a whole showcase, somebody's gotta approve, the label gotta sign you, then you gotta hope that they put it out. Now you just sing on Instagram and hope it goes viral.
And I love that so much for the people. I love that for the music industry, that you don't always have to go through a label, okay? And you could just do independent. You can, you know, get discovered in multiple ways than how it used to be. I love that so much for people. A lot of times folks be thinking about how they get that advance or whatever and got this big check and he signed for X, Y, and Z. And it's like, yeah, when I hear signed for X, Y, and Z, that means that they expected you to pay all that shit back. When you get an advance, it's really giving to me a loan, a business loan. That's what I'm hearing. And you better be able to return that money back, okay? Especially when you hear all these stories about music and how, you know, if you book in a hotel, they bill it back to your account or whatever. If you got to rent cars and do this and that, like everything is still being billed to you. So it be sounding like they charging y'all twice in a sense. Like it's terrible, okay? So you really got to be knowledgeable on your stuff before you even enter into the music game, for real. Then they be trying not to release albums. Hey, Diddy. Okay, they be trying not to release albums and stuff and just holding you up in contracts and shit. Like it's a mess. It's a mess. So you definitely got to know what you're doing. But if people are able to go out there and be independent and make a name for themselves from that, great. And if you were to get a deal, it's like figure out a way for you to like maneuver out of that quickly. Okay. If they gave you a deal, 500,000, I don't know. Like, okay, how I'm finna finesse this? Okay, because I'm gonna need to be out this deal. Like, I just need them for right now, really, to just help me get some attention, this, that, and other. Maybe just do a distribution deal. I think that's the best one. A distribution deal where they help you distribute your music in different places and shit like that. Like, that probably would be the better thing, okay? Versus actually signing up to a, like, anywho, girl, that's the whole nother conversation. We over here on Housewives, so let's tap back into Shamea.
Say, what does success look like in that space? For you,
I think I'm living it right now. Okay. Just having my song even hit the chart is a blessing because I'm like, little on me, you know, I don't know. Even people just singing it and tagging me in their videos like, oh, it's a vibe, I like it. It feels good because now I'm just not singing it for my family on a fireplace stoop. It's like, no, the world is loving it.
Gotcha.
So we're just going to sing music.
Really,
I like album in the making, an EP. What's going on?
So I just shot the video for it.
Okay.
So I'm going to release that next month. And I don't know. I've gotten 5 strong songs so far. So I don't know if I want to do an EP or album, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Let me pause right here because I just think I gotta show you. Like Shamea looks so cute. If y'all have not seen this interview, like go look at it. Like she looks so freaking adorable. I actually liked her outfit. Y'all know we don't always like the outfit Shamea decides to put on, but this soft pink on her skin, she looks too cute. Loving the makeup, the hair. I thought she looked so cute. But anywho, girl.
Now, also, we got to ask you, a friend on the Housewives for a while.
Or forever.
So you've seen the mess, you've seen the craziness, the fights, and all. So
Yes.
what made you want to be part of that franchise as an official member?
I think I've always wanted to do it, but they wouldn't allow me to do it without my husband actually agreeing to come on camera. And he wasn't for it. He was like, I support you doing it and our kids, and y'all can film at the house. I just don't want to be on camera. Yeah. And when they came over, did a test shoot with me, they saw how I was living, and they were like, I don't think we'll need him. They were like, we'll be able to move forward. You know, and then
right, because when Shamea talked about it on Kandi show, I know that was a thing. I think that she had an interest in doing it, but it was always she knew her husband wasn't going to do it, so I guess she didn't think that they would take her. And I'm like, that really shouldn't be, to me, being that they have so many housewives that are not damn married, okay? I don't know why they would put so much stock in the fact that we need your husband to be a part of the show. I feel like they already knew how they'll be able to shoot around him without really having him there. But I guess they just wanted at least one housewife or something, okay, to have a husband. But I mean, Angela's married. The other lady is married. So I mean, but I guess Shamea was given the full lifestyle, right? The wealth that we would like to see on Housewives on top of having the husband and stuff. So I mean, I get it, but I'm glad that they were able to, you know, bring her onto the show without having to have so much emphasis on her husband being a part of it.
This was holding out on how much money you had and everything.
Well, you know, I don't know. I just don't lead with it. I mean, unless you know me and we're like great friends, you wouldn't know. Because I mean, I don't know. It's weird for me to be like, hey, you know, I'm rich.
But were you trying? But if that's what's required, you know, for you to get on the show, was that something that did you even want to have a Peach on the show, or did you?
I did, but I didn't think that it would ever happen because he again had to agree to be on camera. And he was like, but then he ends up joining us a little bit this season, like for big events for me, like my birthday or my showcase and stuff. He pulls up, but he was like, this ain't, you know, he shies away from cameras. That's not his thing, and I'm like, I respect that.
I was gonna ask too because there's so much focus on relationships on the show. How did you get him not to film? How did you get him not to have to film a whole season?
He comes a little bit.
He does come a little bit, but it's not like our personal life is, you know, that's me. That's not, you know, you only can give what you want to give or show what you want to show. And I think, you know, he pulls up for our kids and my birth, like the big moments, but he's just not into it. Like,
and the network was completely okay with that? Wow. Oh.
Finally. I mean, finally, you know, and that's another thing. I feel like my personality and just what I bring is enough. I don't necessarily need y'all to, it's not the housewives, you know, the husbands, it's the wives. So the focus should be on the wives. And I think anytime the men have gotten too involved, it's been messy.
I think it's been weird too. Like when the men are just sitting there talking to each other about the women, it just seems weird on the show.
Yeah.
Even if they got your party, when they go to the men over there talking, it just seems odd. Like, you know what I mean?
You'd be right over there.
But you know, for Shamea, this season for sure, like, it makes so much sense to not have the husbands be a part for real because the husbands that's on the show don't want to be on there. Charles really don't want to film. The other lady's husband really don't want to film. Like, they really don't want to be on camera. So I think that's one of the reasons why I also worked out with Shamea. But it can be very entertaining at times with the husbands if they have a personality of some sort. You know what I'm saying? Depending, like, it was a grand old time to have Todd, Greg, Apollo, Peter, having all of them a part of the damn show. Like, that shit was entertaining, okay? Because you will never get it again where Nene says, stop acting like a damn bitch, okay? Peter acts like a bitch, okay? We will never get it again. I don't see that happening, okay? But we enjoyed it when we had it. Moving forward, I think there would be plenty of women in for the Atlanta show where if they are married, their husbands are going to feel the same way as Shamea's husband and, you know, Charles and Mike. Like, I don't really care to film for her. I'm just doing this for you, but I really don't have me on there, okay?
You'd be right in that mix.
I would, but it seems weird.
Yeah,
you're right, but it
would
seems
you and your
weird.
wife ever do something like that? No?
We thought about it a couple of times in the approach, but I wanted to ask, for people that don't know, how close are you and Porsha, meaning growing up? Were y'all best friends growing up? Did y'all live down the block? Or
so our parents were best friends. Oh. And that's kind of how we became friends. And you know how it is when y'all take family trips. So we go, and it's like, first it was like a forced friendship because it was like we were childhood friends. Then I went to college, she did her thing. And after we just kind of came back together when she got married, and it was like, oh my gosh, I missed you. Like, and we were like inseparable since. Okay. So prior to the show, I would like to think that we were very close.
But the show changed that a little bit.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because I love Porsha.
Shamea, don't do that. And I'm gonna have to go back and listen to Candi's video because I remember specifically listening to that video between you and Kandi earlier on, okay? And when I listened to it in January, I think it was, the way you talked about how you would notify Porsha of certain things, it was always via text. Okay. And it just seems like y'all weren't in that great of a place before the show even started. So now you saying before the show we were getting no girl, no. Okay, no girl.
You know, and we have a good time together. Like, she's super silly like me, down to earth, and just this platform. I prayed that it wouldn't change things, but unfortunately it has. And it's like a lot of people muddying and making the water a little. It's messy.
But you're real or manufactured? Because I mean,
no, these feelings are very real.
Like, you think they're being exploited, like, for a storyline?
I think that they're just messy. Like, I think some of these women are messy, and I would never have allowed them to ruin our friendship or even muddy the waters. But she's listened to some of the things that they've said, and of course, with this show, everything will be revealed. It will be shown to you. And it's like, we've gone this whole season and not really been speaking. So when you watch it, it's going to be like, okay, see, I told you. I told you that Drew said this about paying for your child's college. Yeah. As a real friend, I'm not going to allow somebody to talk about you in your absence. I think you should have been like, thank you for holding me down in my absence. Instead, she's like, oh, you're trying to start a mess with me and Drew. Or it's like, you brought it back, you exaggerated it. And I'm like, it was no need to exaggerate it. The girl said what she said. And I said that she...
But it was a bit of an exaggeration, though, Shamea, because that's similar to what you did with the Angela situation. And Drew really didn't say it like that. To me, like, it just didn't. And y'all may feel like she did. Just like when Porsha said, thank you for your grace. And I didn't feel like it was, that sarcastic. But everybody else felt like, oh, no, that was sarcastic, right? Okay. I mean, you entitled. But for me, I just didn't get that from Drew. Okay. She said, maybe it'll pay for some snacks or something. I don't know. Okay, basically, whatever it is that I'm doing is going to benefit Dennis, and therefore it's going to benefit his daughter. But you did go back and add a little spice on it. And I think that how Porsha was relaying it to Angela was exactly how it was said to her. Oh, you already know I'm going. That's what I think.
She said it jokingly, but she said it, and I didn't even add the part about, I'll be able to buy her some snacks. Like, it was just, I'll pay for college. And I'm like, no, if someone came and they said, I'm going to pay for Marley Sky's college, I'm like, no, I'm sure Jess got it. You don't need to do that. Yeah. You're being messy.
But then what makes you think that Jess is going to have an issue with a person saying that, though? Just because you feel a way about it. Like, Jess might be like, yes, please, we colleges get more expensive by the year, so we take all funds. Thank you so much. You want to help a little piece? Thank you. You probably could pay for a piece of dorm room or something. Like, we appreciate, or a piece of apartment. So how like that's what I didn't like. Like, you chose to take offense, and because that's what it looks like to me. And because you wanted her to be offended by it, you took it back in a certain way. And I don't like that. Okay. And then how you gonna take offense? Like, I mean, she wasn't even dogging the lady or nothing, or saying nothing like that about her door. Like, what? Okay.
See,
how much of the edits?
I hate that.
How much of the edits really affected, right? Because there was one part, and I watched the show with my wife. I guess you guys were going out for dinner, and one of the girls, like first time meeting him, and then she threw a shot at Porsha right away, right? And you was like, "That's my friend." So before you go there, that's my friend. So how much of the show edits that we don't see that maybe you did check it and tell us that, but we only see that little glimpse of it?
Oh yeah, well I mean, you only get an hour, so they can't show everything. But
they're filming all.
They're filming all
absolutely,
and I definitely did check both of them. They kind of came from my friend, and that's the problem that I have now on the season. Like, I'm the lapdog because I'm a super loyal person and I'm a loyal friend, and if that's what that means, then I guess I'm a lapdog because.
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad that you know. But I think that a lot of editing is left out, considering the fact that I think they probably filmed for like 12 hours, or at least some of the conversations may go an hour or 2 hours. Like when Gizelle and Wendy sat down, and Wendy said, "No, girl, we talked for about 2 hours, okay?" But they only gave us they probably gave us 5 minutes, if that, of the damn conversation. And that's what I do be hating, though. I be hating that. Then they be running the damn commercials longer than they run the scenes, don't it? Child.
Not gonna do is talk trash about my people and not expect me to speak about it and speak up on it. And I brought that information back to Porsha, as I would think I want her to do for me. Like, hey, girl, this is what they said. Like, I told them they should get to know you for yourself. They can came from a friend. And they were like, oh, this is what they said. Like, because I'm a super loyal person and I'm a loyal friend. And if that's what that means, then I guess I'm a lapdog because. I told them they should get to know you for yourself. They were like, oh, how you let your friends steal that lady's husband. I'm like, yo, this is how these new girls are coming. I'm just giving you a heads up so you know. And it was like, it's all that's being turned around. Like, you're being messy and talking about your friend.
Now, is Porsha a different Porsha outside of Housewives?
Let me pause there, because she said something about loyalty and lapdog.
I want her to do for me. Like, hey, girl, this is what they said. Because I'm a super loyal person and I'm a loyal friend. And if that's what that means, then I guess I'm a lapdog. Because what you're not going to do is talk trash about my people and not expect me to speak about it and speak up on it. And I brought that information back to Porsha, as I would think I want her to do for me. Like, hey, girl, this is what they said. Like, I told them they should get to know you for yourself. You know, they were like, oh, you know, how you let your friends steal that lady's husband. I'm like, yo, this is how these new girls are coming. I'm just giving you a heads up so you know. And it was like, it's all that's being turned around. Like, you're being messy and talking about your friend.
Now, is Porsha a
Well, one, I think they're two different things, though. I think that you were within your right to notify Porsha, primarily. Okay, it's not so much as what you notify her of; it's more so about how, in a sense. Like earlier on, when she gave her the heads up about Kelly, them, that made a lot of sense because she didn't meet those ladies yet or anything. But then when it came to the Drew thing, I just didn't think Drew meant anything harmful by it. But you just took it a bit too far, and that just like Porsha would have been okay even if she didn't hear that information. Like I don't understand why you needed to give her that. But
different Porsha outside of Housewives than she is on Housewives? You're her friend, so you would know.
and then not so much as give it to her, but more so how. With the hyping it up. Oh, Drew said da 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 da. And it's like, the lady didn't even come at it like that.
Well, y'all have known each other for a while.
I think that on the show, she can kind of like close up and not be as vulnerable and open. But rightfully so. Like sometimes on this platform, you get torn apart for being vulnerable and being open. It's like, oh,
That's true.
So it's like almost like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So yeah, I do think that, she's guarded in a sense. Yeah. Whereas if we're just one-on-one hanging out, it's like, it's whatever. I'm an open book and the sky's the limit, whatever. But the show, of course, she's like, I'm going to harness and hold back on some of this stuff because I don't want to be judged or I don't want to feel,
Do you feel like things changed after you got your peach?
Yeah.
Even more than before?
Yes, because now we're sharing this space and this spotlight. And it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You feel she's jealous?
Like, I don't know that she's jealous. I don't want to say that, but I just feel like it's just different because before I was just a friend of. Now it's like I have a mic on. Before I would be at some of these events and no one would even know I was in the room because again I'm just a friend of Porsha or a friend of Kandi, and I may have an opinion on something, but you wouldn't know it because they didn't catch it. Whereas now it's like, oh, well, where did Shamea get this big voice from or this big personality from? Well, I've always been here. I just never got the opportunity to express it or show it. And like I said, back to Porsha, I just don't feel like in a real friendship you have to like. I don't want to say be guarded, but it's like, am I cool to say this? Like, we good? I don't want to out nothing, or I don't want to talk about something that you're not comfortable talking about or bring into this platform or bring into this space. Like, are we good? So you're kind of like walking on eggshells. It's like, for the longest time, it's been her thing. And now this is our thing. And whereas before, as a friend of the show, it's like, hey, we ain't talking about this on show. Okay, cool. Now it's like, well, this is my personal life. You're my real friend. This is what it is. I'm open. I'm super open and rich in authenticity. Whatever I am is what I am on camera and off camera. So there's nothing off limits for you to talk about with me.
People would say, in the comments that, she didn't come up to your wedding. She came late to your birthday party.
She didn't come to the wedding in Kenya.
Yeah, in Kenya.
And to be clear, I only had one wedding.
Oh, okay. So
and that was a wedding in Kenya.
And people would say that, how did you feel that she didn't come? When she was up here, she said the reason she was late for your birthday is she said it was traffic. She can't shoot in her house. She shot at her mom's house. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just telling you what she said. Okay.
All right. She said that she was in traffic. She couldn't shoot at her house, so she had to shoot at her mom's house. It was way across the other side, so it took a little extra time. So how did that make you feel when she missed both of those things as a best friend?
And see, that's the thing. When I speak on it, it's like I'm throwing shade at Porsha. And I should have forgiven her years ago. Okay, yeah, we moved on, but since I'm on this platform now, all of this stuff is coming back up. And I'm not bringing it up.
And that's what happens.
And I got to talk about it, right? But so it's like I'm not on this Porsha tour of just trying to slander Porsha and shame her. Like, that's not what this is about. But the reality is, yes, she did miss my wedding in Kenya. And yes, it was hurtful. And we talked about it and we've moved past it. But again, that's one of the things that the ladies bring up on the show. Like, oh, it feels like your friendship is lopsided. She didn't come to your wedding. She didn't do this. And I'm constantly having to defend it. And in return, she's listening like, you talking to me, you talking about me to these other girls. I'm like, no, actually, these girls are bringing you up to me, talking about how you're not a good friend. But yeah, I mean, all that stuff happens. It's the real deal. Like, I didn't make this up. I didn't tell her to come later. She showed up when she showed up. It looked how it looked. I don't have any control of that.
But you also know your friend, right? Like, so you know her. Like,
right.
Porsha don't like to be around a lot of people. You know she's a Cancer. She's a homebody. So being that you know her, you don't give her a little bit more grace? Like,
I do.
You know her better than them girls.
I do. And that's what I'm saying. So even when she came late, I was like, it's what it is. It's cool. I've downplayed everything, which is why they think I'm a lapdog. Because they're like, why do you keep giving her this grace? You should speak up about it. You should say something about it. And I'm like, it's whatever. But then in the same token, she's a homebody and she's an introvert, but she also shows up for other people's things.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So,
And let me also say this. Let me add this in. One, and that's why you're a lapdog, because you downplay it. Yes, Shamea, that is exactly what it is. Because in my opinion, when it comes to the fans and what we see, I feel like you're quick to get at somebody for less, in my opinion. When you felt like, I don't know if Angela had Drew's back or whatever, then you snapped off on her and said something about the 99 no's. And I get it, you guys are not friends. And then also with the Drew situation, you're familiar with her. And you're like, oh, but did you sleep with Dennis? Oh, da-da-da-da-da. Then another thing, oh, Drew said this and that about your daughter, about paying for her tuition. Then you turning around and you meet with Ralph. So it's certain things that you're doing, in my opinion, for less. Whereas when your friend directly affects you, you just always shrug. And that's to me passive as fuck. That you often shrug your shoulders and just be like, it's cool. It's whatever. Like you give her a pass. And I just don't think that's how it should be. You can have real friendship, in my opinion, and still let a person know when she showed up to your thing like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, yeah, I hear you, but I'm going to be real honest. Like, you know how much today meant to me. Like, I am disappointed. I'm not even going to act like I'm not. I'm disappointed as fuck. X, Y, Z, whatever. Like, you could have told Porsha in that moment how you felt, but it was like, no, it's cool. It's whatever. Like, you'll shrug your shoulders real quick with your friend, but then with other people that may not even try, and I have to use Drew again as an example, somebody that's not even trying to harm you or do anything or nothing, and you're ready to just chump her off. You just ready to go in. And then I feel like I think Drew had every right, in my opinion, to say that you was giving lapdog energy, because at your party, you all up in it trying to find out what's going on. And this and that. So are you messing with Dennis? And it's like, that's on Porsha. Let Porsha handle that. If Porsha wants to know those answers to those questions, Porsha's a big woman. She's a grown woman. She knows how to answer those questions. Okay, you giving the energy to Drew when the energy should be given to Porsha that night, because she was the one that was late to your party. Right. And granted, I'm not saying you got to snap off on your friend like you do other people either. So I want to make sure that's clear. But I also feel like it's okay to let a friend know in that moment that you're disappointed. Like, yo, I ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like tone is everything too when you talking to people. So that's what I think,
You started off, and side note, these are some of my wife's questions, because I asked, I was like,
Shamae's coming. I told you you'd be with them guys over there keying his ass off. If you like the show, you like the show. Why you gotta be like that?
So my wife asked, just because I said, babe, send me some questions what you'd ask. She was like, so now at first you were Porsha's second chair, like her, her homie, her
right.
cheerleader.
Yeah.
But it says now, you've taken a different outcome. It says you become a boss and you're standing on your own.
Aww.
What do you say about the change in the public's perception of you? And do you think that they had it all wrong from the beginning of who you are?
Well, thank you, wifey, for calling me a boss. I appreciate that. I think that I've always been me. I just never had the platform to showcase who I am and what I stand for, my friendships, my faith, my family, the fun girl side. I just never had that opportunity. So now that I'm here, I'm like, all right, this is what it is. I'm a good friend, I'm a good follower, but I'm also a great leader. And I think that's what makes a good leader, somebody that can follow and sit back and let everybody else shine. I don't mind.
Very true. I will agree with that. I do agree with that. I also agree with Shamea. You can give your friends heads up, but as quick as you run into your friends to tell them what so-and-so said, be quick to run to your friend and tell them about how they made you feel. Don't let a lot of time go by being passive and shrugging your shoulders on, nah, it's cool, because they're going to operate like they don't know, and they're going to keep doing what it is that they've been doing, and you're going to continue to feel away because you ain't trying to get it, bump no heads or get in no argument or nothing. And it should never be too much of a argument, in my opinion, if you're just trying to express to a person how they may have made you feel,
And it doesn't take anything away from me for you being the first chair or you being, I'm cool, +1, whatever. I know how I'm living. I know what I'm bringing.
Let me ask you that. I'm just asking.
I know that's right.
Doesn't it seem a little strange
I'm
to
gonna get me
now
anyway.
have issues with a friend because y'all on a show?
That y'all knew each other all your life,
I would
right?
think that y'all could fuck the cameras. Like, yo,
Right.
Porsha, what's up? Like,
And I've reached out, and you'll see this upcoming episode that.
but that's what I'm saying. I shouldn't have to see that on the episode.
I mean, but even outside, but see, that's the only chance you have to see it, because everything else is done in private,
Gotcha.
and no one
Right,
believes you when you say, "Oh, we spoke about this in private, and it's fine." Then it's like, "Oh no, you're too scared to confront your friend." But a lot of times I tell people, "No, this was not for y'all. This conversation was not for y'all. It was for us." And it's like, but you're on a show. You can't decide what's private and what's not.
Right.
Because again, you would know. Like,
I mean, y'all decide what's private all the time. I feel like Housewives do go on and they withhold certain things from the audience any damn way. However, I feel like watching the show, we also still see where you may feel a way about some stuff. I mean, and for me, let me just speak for me. I feel like as we watch the show, yes, there's been times where you've linked up with Porsha and stuff, but we could tell on camera that your closest relationship is more with Kelly. Well, let me not say we, because I'm speaking for myself. I could tell from watching the show that you're closer to Kelly than you are with Porsha. Yeah, and I think the only thing that will really glue y'all together is the history of the friendship that y'all have, but you could tell that y'all wasn't really talking like that, for real. Which also, anywho, I mean, I was going to say, which also makes me feel like, why are you being so much of a lapdog? At the end of the day, Porsha is old enough, she's grown enough, she's big enough to handle her own situations, okay? I don't even think Porsha rushed to handle Angela. When Angela was sitting over there trying to call you, who did she call you? I don't know if she called you Flavor Flav or something like that. Like I don't remember Porsha trying to jump in and get it in with Angela off of what she said, off of what was said about you. But when Porsha's feeling a certain type of way about the Drew situation with Dennis, you're rushing to put yourself in the middle of what they got going on. But I haven't quite seen Porsha do that with you yet. So that's why I'm a little like, girl, what? I'm off.
If it weren't for the show. So, I mean, we talk about things on the show and off the show, and it's like, it's a weird space. I don't want it to be that way. I mean, I posted her daughter, and tried to extend an olive branch and show love, and she's been super distant. And I was very
Boom. And somebody got in my comments the other day and it was like, oh, well, Shamea, Porsha did respond to Shamea's post under her daughter's page. I guess Shamea put a post up about her daughter saying happy birthday or whatever. And they were saying that Porsha came and she, from her daughter's page, Pilar's page, and left a comment under there. And I'm like, well, why would she do it from her daughter's page when she really could have just did it from her own page? Because everybody's been wondering about like what's what. And then that leads me to question, like, what's that even Porsha that left the damn comment? Okay, maybe it could have been one of the assistants that's been managing her daughter's page, but I don't follow the daughter's page. But clearly, it appears that Shamea is saying that she's put up posts or whatever the case is when it comes to Porsha and her daughter and stuff. And Porsha has still been distant. Still been given distant. This is what Shamea is saying. Now, maybe the door is cracked. The door is cracked because Porsha did put a happy birthday post up to Shamea, and I have no doubt about it that she missing her friend for sure.
shocked yesterday to even get a birthday post. I was like, yes, thank you. Like, wow, I love you. I'm, you know.
Yeah, and you did text her. Like,
yeah, and she texted me, happy birthday, and I was like, thank you so much. I was like, this made my day.
You think she's been distant because she doesn't know what's for what could potentially be for TV and what's real anymore between y'all?
Possibly, but I'm like, can we talk about it? Like,
yeah,
damn.
But y'all know this is all for, like, if producers and things like that, and showrunners see that, they're gonna try to make that a bigger moment anyway, whether it's what y'all want to do or not.
You're
they're
right,
find,
but it's like for me,
bugs in the ears, and
they can only do what you allow, right? And if you my like day one, I should be able to be like, Charlamagne, like, yo, this ain't what it is. I love you. We lock like this. We not. No one can say, here's what Drew said, just FYI, and you take it for what it is. Not, I don't know. I'm not feeling. It feel like you creating something. Why would I finally want to create something on the show? Like, I'm the same person that I've been.
Yeah.
This. Not trying to be funny, but I spent money to be on the show. That's not where I get my money from.
You say you spent money?
Yeah, the lavish parties and all that stuff, that costs.
Oh, gotcha.
The money that I'm getting on the show is not enough.
Goes back into investing on your personality on the show.
Yeah, way more. By my first birthday party, the first event I had, took that whole check away. So it's not like, I'm not trying to be funny. I enjoy the show and I love it, and I appreciate it for the platform that I'm getting to expose things like my music. But at the end of the day, it's not a deal breaker for me. Like, you are. Our friendship is.
Yeah.
The love I have for you is. So at the end of the day, when this is done, and if they say, oh, we don't need you next season, I'm here. We should still be able to move forward with our friendship.
Envy texted me a question to ask you. He said, Essence published an article that claims you nor Porsha are innocent in your friendship drama. What are your thoughts on that perspective?
Okay, Essence, thank you. I mean, that's all on your POV. I can't change.
What did Essence say? I'm sorry.
I'm here. We should still be able to move forward with our friendship.
Envy texted me a question to ask you. He said, Essence published an article that claims you nor Porsha are innocent in your friendship drama. What are your thoughts on that perspective?
Okay, Essence, thank you. I mean, that's all on your POV. I can't change. And a lot of people in the comments say, Shamea's no victim, Porsha's no victim, they're the same, whatever. Well, hey, we're friends. We've been friends for a long time. So, hey, we probably are a lot alike. That's not a bad thing. I think she's a good person.
Shamea already said that she wasn't innocent. And when they sat down at the Pampered by Porsha thing, she said that. So, I mean, I would like to know in what ways, but she said that she's not innocent in the friendship. So
I ain't like this question, no, but so enlighten us. Enlighten the rest of the world. What is it about these Africans? LOL. You have one, Porsha has one. I didn't ask that question.
Okay, but hold on. Let me tell you this. I had my African before. It was cool to have an African, all right? This was back in the day. I've been with my African for 11 years.
That sounds crazy.
This is when I got crap for being with an African. This is back in the day when y'all were posting the whole starter kit with the Chanel bag and the ashy feet and that was like the African starter kit. That's the African starter kit. That's what y'all was posting
online.
That's
the meme that was going around.
That was the meme. Thank you. Come on, you know it. The meme used to go around. And then I even had people be ugly about it. It was like, you better get them tested. You better make sure you don't have AIDS.
Jesus,
it was nasty
crazy.
work. What? Yeah, this was like...
people? That's what we come
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's crazy.
And it was all the nastiness. And then there was this new wave of, get you an African. And it was all glorified. And I'm like, well, hold on. Because when I got with my husband, y'all were being mean about it. I lost friendships over that.
Yeah.
One of my old homegirls actually said, he's got about 5 wives, girl. I'm like, where are these wives? Because we got married in the Catholic Church in Kenya, and they actually have to do a full publication of, like, in the press, in the news, everything. They say, this man, Gerald Maingimawangi, will be wedding Shamea Yvonne Morton on this day at this church if anybody objects to it. And we had to.
In tongues just now.
No, that was her husband's name.
Oh, shit. I just heard her say church.
So we had to do a whole, and then with the whole scam and stuff, like when you have to go and get cleared with the embassy to marry. So if he had all these extra wives, I would know about it. They would have come up in his profile.
Wait, so if you got to go to the embassy to get cleared, is this a different part of Africa or something? Because did Porsha and them do the same thing? Did he go, you said, with all these scammers? So what did Simon have to do to go and get cleared for Porsha to marry him down there to the Africa or wherever they went? Was it Nigeria? You know what I'm saying? So what is that?
Like, it's the weirdest thing to me. Yeah. And I was like, I had to stand 10 toes down.
I love African brothers and sisters, by the way.
You and me both.
Yeah, 11 years ago, if you didn't know Africans were balling, something wrong with you.
Yeah.
You wasn't paying attention.
They were real nasty with it. Like, you gonna marry her. Okay, well, girl, be careful, cause and I'm like,
And he's the president of Dominion Energy. Was it?
Yeah. You've been doing your homework.
They build
He counts money. That's what he does. He counts money.
No, I like, because you know what I like? I like seeing black people, because they are black. I like seeing black people do things that you don't normally see people doing. And we always scream about going to learn a trade, right? Like, everybody can't be a celebrity. Everybody can't be an athlete. So learn a trade. But he actually has a whole HVAC company.
Several. He does mergers, acquisitions. So they build and manufacture HVACs from, government buildings, airports.
Filthy.
Rich. Filthy. Bought a color in for last birthday a couple of years ago.
What?
Last year.
Rolls Royce for you, sir. Rolls Royce for you.
I'm so happy that you are glowing and that you got your music, you got your lovely husband. I know I've seen in a recent episode that you was talking about your former ex-husband who was abusive. You said when you were married 4 years, you got divorced, then you feel like people turn their backs on you.
Yeah.
How did that impact you moving forward?
Yeah.
Like,
I think
did it impact your like, did it put a strain on relationships, friendships, platonic friendships? And
yeah, because in a divorce, it's like they got to pick a side. Like they always go to the richer side. So like, all those people, they didn't really believe me when I talked about the abuse in the relationship, and it was fine because the people that I love in my family, they saw it, and I had to just move forward. Like, some of the same people that introduced me to him, and you see it on the show how like the lady that actually introduced me to my ex ended up calling me and apologizing. Like, this was in 2008. All these years later, she finally sees that, oh my goodness, because he did it to somebody else. And she was crying. She was apologetic on the phone, like, I'm so sorry, I didn't believe you. I just thought and I was like, I get it. Like, he is this popular guy. He represented amazing artists in the industry. He was that guy, like CPA, accountant, like all the things. And it was just better to just go over there because of his popularity and his finances. And I was just a regular cheerleader that was just, graduated college and was just figuring it out.
I will say it's good that she apologized, because you don't ever see people when they wrong come back when they figure out that they were wrong and apologize.
Oh yeah, they're all very much even if they don't apologize for it, I'll get a DM or I'll get something from some of the people in that crew. They'll be like, hey, you doing your thing, I'm proud of you. Or hey, so it's like, to me it's like a nod of like, all right, cool. I'm like, thank you.
You cheered for the Hawks for what, over a decade, right?
No, I've worked in the NBA because I'm doing like sideline reporting and in-game hosting for the NBA. But I did cheer for 5 years.
You cheered for 5 and then you turned into a sideline reporter.
Yep.
Wow. Why'd you stop doing it?
What, in-game hosting and sideline reporting? I'm still doing it. I just did All-Star and everything.
She said she don't really need to be on the show because she has so many other gigs like a Jamaican.
I do.
That is interesting.
Like
so if you clearly don't need the money, you got an actual career. Has the show Real Housewives been everything you thought it was going to be so far?
Absolutely. I mean, look where I'm at now. I'm here hanging out with y'all. You wouldn't have even known me if it weren't for the show. Like, you would have known me as Porsha's friend, but there wouldn't have been any value to me coming and hanging out with y'all. So the show does have its perks like this. Like,
and that song.
And my song. Yes. Exactly. Just like, I want to be able to showcase my music, and then also bring awareness to children with special needs. When I had my daughter, there was so much I didn't know and didn't have the resources and didn't know where to go, because people that look like me or the cool kids aren't supposed to have kids that have disabilities. Right. And it happened to me, and it was like, oh my goodness, this is my new life. This is my new normal. I got to figure all these things out. So just being able to have this platform to showcase and shed a light on that kind of stuff is even amazing to me.
Is it true that you and Kandi Burruss had the same surrogate?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Shadina.
Oh, Shadina. Okay.
Her name is Shadina, and she's amazing. Shout out to Shadina. She breast cancer survivor, all the things, and that's how Shiloh was born early, because of her diagnosis. And
wow.
How did you know? Did Kandi recommend her?
I met her through Kandi. Absolutely. She has a surrogacy agency. It's called Surrogacy Miracles. Her and Dr. Jackie own the agency together. So initially,
and that's also a part of the good reason, I guess, for Shamea to also be a part of the show, because not only is she bringing, light to music, her daughter's situation, but also that surrogate, because the surrogate was also on the show when Kandi was trying to have her child. And of course, Kandi, I don't think she had no kids since Blaze, and we haven't really seen her on the show. But Shamea being on the show also brings another highlight to that woman and her company and people that are looking for surrogates. So I mean, she killing a few birds with this one housewife stone, and I don't really fault her for that. So good for Shamea. We may not have liked how she's shown up on the show as far as like little stuff that she has done, but honestly, y'all, all of the ladies have done something that has made us feel a way about them and made us look at them sideways or change our opinion or whatever the case is. And that's the ebbs and flows I feel with the fan base of Real Housewives. Okay, sometimes you up, sometimes you down, girl, then you back up. Like, that's just what it is. You just got to be along for the ride or whatnot. But I think there are still things about, Shamea that, I still like. I mean, I think the biggest thing I feel like I dislike maybe her fashions more than I dislike some of her actions that she's taken on the show, to be honest with you, child.
I went through the agency to try to get a surrogate, and I was like, well, I mean, you carried Blaze, you did a good job. Why don't you just carry my child?
Right. Yeah, I'm an idiot, so I never thought about it, but I was like, if you're a surrogate, you've probably done that more than once. I never thought
about it. People do that. It's a bit, yeah, exactly. That's how they make their money.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about Kenya, right? Now, is she on pause or is she fired?
I don't really know, but I think that she never returns from that point for the rest of the season. She never returns. So I mean, I don't know if she'll be back next season. I don't even know if I'll be back. I mean, I don't make those kind of decisions. So.
And what was your thoughts on the way how Bravo handled it?
Before you answer that, I love you, girl. I gotta go.
I love you too. Thank you so much.
She was talking so bad about you.
Can we get at least a selfie before you go?
Yes. Talk about Kenya and the way Bravo handled it. What were your thoughts?
The network knows more than I would. They did their homework, they did their investigation, and they felt like they made the best decision. Of course, that's my boss. I'm gonna support it. Whatever they say is what it is.
Is she gonna do the reunion, or we don't know as of yet?
I don't know. I would hope. I would love to hear, what her thoughts are at this point after she's seen it all. But yeah, again, I don't know.
And what did you think about what she did as far as the leaking and all that?
Oh, it was jaw dropping for sure. To be there, I guess you had to be there to feel the attention. But I was like, you hurt me. I literally was like, Kenya, come on, girl. Like, that's too much. Like, that's. She was like, you don't tell me what's too much. And she kind of like, so after she apologized for that. But I guess every action has a reaction, and she felt like this girl did this, so I'm giving it back to her. Yeah. I wouldn't have handled it that way, but she did, and you see where we are. So,
can I go back to the surrogate thing for a second?
You think about getting one?
No, I just want because you actually you carried a child and then you had a surrogate. So what's the difference between the experiences?
So I had a great pregnancy with my firstborn. I had a C-section. And it was fine. I'm still actively trying to get pregnant. If I was to get pregnant tomorrow, it'd be amazing. But I also, after that, had an ectopic pregnancy where I lost my left fallopian tube and was bleeding internally. And this was a year and a half ago. And so the journey to grow my family is continuous. But I think what the misconception is, people think, it's a surrogate's DNA in some kind of way. No, the surrogate is like the oven to bake it in. But all the ingredients are mine and my husband's. We create embryos, and that's also a very stressful situation because you are having to do stimulations to get eggs fertilized and then, implantation and all the things. And I've tried. I've done 7 rounds of IVF. I'm going into my 8th now. Yes, all that just to have a baby. And
very expensive.
And very expensive. And draining, emotionally draining. And it's high risk because when you're injecting yourself with all these things, it puts you at risk for stroke, heart attack. You can't work out. I'm not blaming my stomach pouch on that. Kind of I am a little bit. But it is very just emotionally draining and high risk. Women, we go through so much as a body. So the surrogate, it's expensive and it's all the things, but we do that because we're love.
Is the connection the same?
No, not right off the bat. Okay. I would be lying if I said it was. No, when I first got Shiloh, I didn't even really get a chance to bond because she went straight into the NICU and it was like she was on a breathing, it was like.
You said she came early.
Yeah, she came early and she was on a breathing machine and then she had all these surgeries back to back, and it was so just emotional because it was like. Is she gonna live? So whereas my firstborn, it was like I could hold her and bond with her. But now, of course, I'm totally bonded. But I didn't carry her, so there wasn't that connection.
How early did she come?
34 weeks. 34 and a half.
Could you break it down for me?
So, like a month early.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Yeah.
And you said you want to grow your family, so would you do surrogate again, or are you thinking about doing surrogate again?
Yes, I've got a new surrogate, and I'm just hoping to get her pregnant ASAP.
Yeah, that sounds so crazy.
I want to get her pregnant.
To be honest, I didn't know. I thought she was a real woman. I didn't know she was
So I wonder if it's the same surrogate that we saw on TV, because when we saw it on television, it was filmed about almost a year ago. Right. And they had to get some legal paperwork together. So being that it's about to be a year, I wonder if she decided to go with a different surrogate. Some things may not have worked out potentially. Maybe they did some blood work or something. Maybe she had a condition. I don't know. as to why. But I'm wondering if she has the same person or if this is a new surrogate that they're gonna go with.
I'm sorry, I'm not judging.
You know what they say.
Now, also, the two new castmates, how do you like them? Do you feel like they have long-standing power, or do you think it's one of them that kind of shocked you?
No, it's three new castmates.
You said two new castmates.
You got two new. Well,
we got
yourself.
three new.
Well, besides yourself.
Because you got Angela, Brit, Edie, Kelly, Farrell.
Okay, three.
Yeah. I'm happy that you said two, because those are the only two I really care about, which are, Kelly and Angela.
Mm-hmm. And you just don't like the other one?
I don't see it for her.
Why? Why don't you?
She's just not a kind person,
But usually the shows like that type of thing.
That's how girl groups are. You're not gonna get along with everybody, and she's just not my type of girl. She said herself she's not a girl's girl, so we can see it, right, for sure.
Do you feel like a lot of times those castmates they try to show things that they're not? Like when I watch the show sometimes, and I'm looking at them like, dude,
that ain't how you are. Exactly, you putting it on for the cameras, but I think that our viewers and fans can see that. Like when you ain't being real, it'll come out and everything will be revealed, and that's exactly what's happening.
Yes,
you can't keep up with your own stories. Say you lost your insurance, then you didn't lose your insurance license. It's like, girl, come on.
Sometimes those castmates they try to show things that they're not. Like when I watch the show sometimes, and I'm looking at them like, dude,
that ain't how you are. Exactly, you putting it on for the cameras, but I think that our viewers and fans can see that. Like when you ain't being real, it'll come out and everything will be revealed, and that's exactly what's happening. You can't keep up with your own stories. Say you lost your insurance, then you didn't lose your insurance license. It's like, girl, come on.
You feel like the drama associated with reality shows will distract people from all of
Like when I tell you the way we be seeing through Britannica is crazy. I mean, it is all out, girl, crazy. I feel like she is going to return next season, but I'll be okay if she don't.
The amazing things you've ever done in your life, like the music, the sideline reporting, the cheerleading, like just you think?
I don't think so.
Because for people who didn't know you and know you did all those amazing things, now this show is kind of defining who we think you are.
I love that the show is allowing people to even get to know me and see me. Like I'm getting booked for gigs and roles that I never would have gotten before the show. So I mean, there are ebbs and flows, good and bad in it, but overall, for me right now, the good is outweighing the bad.
Gotcha.
I ran into Mia Thornton in Atlanta last week, and she's not on Potomac anymore. Possibility that she might be a Housewives of Atlanta. So what's your thoughts on that?
I welcome anybody that wants to be here. Like, I don't get to make those decisions. I just got on the show myself. So if you asking me if I'm gonna get my spot up for me, no, sis. But
no, that's right.
Laugh like, no, I'm not getting my spot. Nah, you can try to say that. Nah, it's not gonna happen.
But yeah, if they find room for her, sure. Hey, girl, come on.
Well, I hope you and Porsha figure it out.
Me too.
The only spot that's up for grabs is Britannica Edie's. So if she wants to slide in and take hers, then I guess we'll rock with it. But that's about it, because I just, y'all let me know whose seat is up for grabs, because right now it's not Angela, it's not Shamea, and it's not Kelly, and it damn sure ain't Porsha Williams. Now she might be able to be bumped down to a friend of potentially, and y'all know even though Phaedra came in on the back, she is not gonna give up not damn fucking seat for Britannica, so that's dead. But if they want to swap Mia out and try out Brit, I guess, girl, maybe give Brit another chance because of her family drama that she got going on. You know what I'm saying? Because with Mia, I really feel like we've seen all that we finna see from Mia. Like, girl, we've seen what you got, what you working with. You with Ink. You got this marriage that we don't know if you fully divorced from. Like, we've seen it already. So what else you finna give us over here when we've already seen it? And aside from that, I love the fact that Shamea is getting these opportunities. I think she's super talented.
You make happen. You close to Porsha. Y'all share the same people.
Yeah,
why don't y'all have a sit down and help us figure it out?
Yeah, I feel like that should be so easy though.
It's not, because you can't. I mean, if you allow other people to just get in your ear about stuff, it's like.
I think it's the show.
That's no. It ain't no damn show. That's a choice. In my personal, that is a choice. If she's allowing other people to get in her head about y'all friendship, that is a personal choice that she's choosing to make. Because just like Shamea can shut down anything that people are saying about Porsha, like, oh yeah, don't talk about my friend, like, girl, no, whatever. However she does it, Porsha could do the same thing. So that means to me that Porsha has been feeling no way, and she's also being passive with not communicating to you about how she is feeling, but entertaining conversations of other people, okay, and the things they may have to say about you or how you may feel or whatever, okay? She's making a personal decision to do that for whatever fucking reason, and sometimes you got to lead people to it. Sometimes you got to let them folk do what they gonna do.
I mean, I don't know this. I haven't spoken to her about it. I think it's the show, because it's one thing when your friend is your friend, but now your friend is on the show, so you don't know if your friend is using y'all relationship for a storyline.
I wouldn't need that. I have so much other story. So much so to where a lot of my story got cut. Like, I've got so much happening in my
they're going to go
life.
with the salacious stuff. You know they're going to go with the juicy
For
stuff.
sure, for sure.
You know, that positive shit. Let's talk about you and Porsha.
Yeah, like, I did a whole, cheer and dance camp with over 200 girls.
Boring.
And exactly.
I'm talking about from their perspective.
Exactly. That's why I never came. That's why you won't see it, But at the end of the day, for me, it doesn't do anything for me. That story, that's not the type of story I want. Like, this is my real friend, my real life. Like, and it's a hurtful thing.
Did you reach out to her yesterday? You said she posted
we did. We text back. She texted congratulations and, I hope you get everything this season, something like that. And happy birthday. I hope you have something fun planned or something. And I was like, yeah, I'm in New York, hanging out. Thank you so much. It meant the world to me. So that was sweet. And it really did make my day.
Got you.
Now, when y'all went on her birthday trip,
Porsha has been doing a few things. She's really been keeping conversations to text, unless you drew Sidora, because she's not really going to text you back for real. And another thing is, when I've been seeing the cast kind of link up for like promoting events, I haven't seen Porsha, and I don't quite know why, right? So they showed up to like a red carpet event for a premiere of a new movie that I believe Kerry Washington is in, and I didn't see Porsha there. And then they also did another event with the Atlanta Hawks and stuff. I didn't see Porsha there. And then, okay, there was another event I was thinking about. I think that could have been Kelly's, though. I didn't see Porsha there, but I don't think all of the ladies were there either. Maybe just a few. But anywho, I don't know. Porsha is acting like, girl, I only signed up to do the show and this is it. Okay, I've only signed up I ain't signed up to do no extra promo. I only signed up for this or that, and we good. Or is it that Porsha doesn't want to run into the girls, hang around the girls until after the reunion, because maybe she don't want to change her feelings about how she finna go about clocking y'all at the reunion? Who knows?
Right? And she said, I should have fucked that man's husband.
What?
What was your thoughts?
I should fuck that man's husband.
Fuck that woman's husband. My bad.
Oh my God,
I can't.
We got
it. It is Atlanta. But it is Atlanta, though. It is Atlanta.
Wow. First of all, Angela is not trans. She's definitely a woman.
So crazy.
Charles
Charlamagne laughing too damn hard.
Let's just be clear about that.
Jesus Christ.
It was funny at the time because we out there drinking. When you kicking it with your friend, you're not. Like, whatever, they were beefing. So I knew she was being shady when she said it. No, but I don't play about black marriage or just marriage, period. I want people to stay together. I don't, I wouldn't play about mine. And I said, of course, on Watch What Happens Live that, hey, if you can take them, you can keep them. But at the end of the day, no, that's not a laughing matter. Like, and I hate that she said it, but me and Angela weren't friends and her and Angela weren't friends. And she was kikiing with me, her friend.
Right.
And so we laugh about a lot of dark stuff that we shouldn't laugh about.
She's probably joking.
We was joking. Porsha doesn't want Charles, to be clear. Like, and for those that say, oh, she took somebody, that ain't her thing. Like, I know her. And that ain't her thing. She didn't want Charles. She don't want Charles. She only wants what's for her. And that's just it. That's just that.
Yeah, because that's not fair. That's not fair for beautiful women like Porsha to be saying things like that. Because then when that poor man, succumbs to temptation, whose fault is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying. That ain't right.
Shady.
Well, she was joking. She was joking.
She said she was joking. But Angela's defense, I get it, girl. I understand why you would be upset, but you shouldn't be upset with me anymore. I apologize for laughing. I apologize for my shade throwing on her outfit and my part in it. All that other stuff, you got to take that up with Porsha. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
This show going to ruin a lot of great relationships.
It has already. This show's been on for years. It has. Well,
but it can only do what you allow it to do.
Right.
I agree with that, too.
Let's play your single. So introduce your single, ladies and gentlemen. Shamea,
I agree with that, too. The show is only going to ruin and mess up what it is that you allow. Just like Cynthia was trying to set up this time. I hate when groups mess up friendships or whatever. Like, girl, bye. When you and Nene fell out, that was all about you and Nene for real, girl. Okay? Period. And so y'all might need to do a friendship contract or make amends to where no matter what, y'all gonna always talk about stuff and not let nobody come in between y'all. I don't know what it is that y'all need to do, but I really feel like it's gonna be on y'all more than it is on, the show. But y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below about everything. We just got into Shamea Morton's interview with The Breakfast Club. I thought it was pretty good. Leave your thoughts below. I'm JamiThatsMe, and of course, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters. I'm silent. Nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification. Them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM. And the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATL. Got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym. High elevated, I can face the